Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy, satisfying, sanctified Sunday. I hope everyone had an amazing and blessed Christmas. And I hope you are looking forward to this new year, this 2022, right? Well, as you know, my name is, well, some of you may not know, I should not just assume, but as most of you may know, I am LaShawn Gunnels. I am your Reconnection Life Coach. I help women who are struggling with the loss of a loved one grow through their grief and step into their happiness with passion and on purpose. I would love to connect with you. So, that website that you see scrolling at the bottom, go ahead and enter that into your browser, click on the black box discovery session, and we can get on a call and we can have a conversation about what it is that you're struggling with and what it is that you want to get out of. Um, sorry, trying to situate myself. What it is you want to get out of life. Like, what is it that you want to work on to become the best version of you? I'm here to help you with that. And a lot of times, um, our setbacks and our struggles are due to loss because we've really never dealt with it. I know that was the case for me in several areas of my life, from losing people as far as they're no longer on this earth, losing relationships that I thought were supposed to be something else, um, losing all sorts of things in my world, right? Positions on my job, getting demoted, all kinds of things. Grief comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. It's not just about the loss of a person, even though that is the biggest form of grief. That's what we probably hold on to and carry with us the most consciously. But there's also other grief that we may kind of ignore or stuff or whatever. So I'm here to help you work that out and then help you on your journey to becoming the best version of you and find your happiness, your joy, and your peace. All right, so let's get into it. I've been going live daily, 30 days of live, 30 days of going live. I missed a couple of days, so one of these days I'll be going twice. One day I'll be going twice, but I'm going to continue to go live until the 31st. I was supposed to stop at the 30th, but that's what happens when you miss 2 days. You got to continue to honor it. So I am being held accountable by a couple of amazing business partners and business besties. So I am so honored to have them on my side, on my team. I'm so happy about the support we give to each other. So as you read in the description, if you were able to see that real quick, we're going to come again from my book, Living with Loss: A Mother's Love, How to Endure, let me go this way. How to Endure the 7 Stages of Grief by yours truly. That would be I, LaShawn Gunnels. That's me. So today's chapter we're going to go and read about is anger. Like I said, I'll just be reading the introduction and then the part of the ending. So this is probably going to be a little raw. So just work with me on it, okay? So, chapter 4, my goodness, the anger. Yes, I said it, the anger. It's okay because the anger is a normal emotion during this trying time of the grieving process. It's crazy how we think we should not be angry with ourselves, our loved one, the transition, and everyone around us, but we are. Our world has changed, and this change is difficult to accept. I received so many stories, and it seemed as if the stories came to me, the more angrier I would get. The first story was my baby was murdered. The second story was there was a struggle over the gun. The final story was she committed suicide. Each of those stories caused an anger that I still to this day cannot comprehend. The anger was natural and the anger and the emotions were real. So I had to allow myself to feel each piece of that anger and process it the best way I could. So in this chapter, you will go on another bumpy ride with my display of this emotion we call anger. So then there's some information you get to read about, some stories, how I handle certain things. And then at the end, the final final section of that chapter is the new normal. And I'll just read this very last part, the very last paragraph. Acknowledge the anger, acknowledge the disappointment, and acknowledge the embarrassment. When you acknowledge those emotions and feelings, it will free you and give you an opportunity to move forward in life. As you acknowledge those feelings, when the time is right, try to forgive whomever you are angry and upset with, even if they are no longer here on earth with you. Forgive them. Forgive them so you are able to continue being made whole and free. I forgave Patrice and I forgave myself because I was angry with both Patrice and God. So I know that was kind of, I didn't want to get too deep because that chapter, just reading the few parts that I read with you just now, it does bring back the memories and the stories. That chapter is actually titled "The Stories" because the stories that I was receiving just ignited the anger. It really it hurt, and that's usually what anger is. It's a form of hurt, right? It's a form of pain, unprocessed pain. So I did not process things the way I would have liked to. I'm not going to say I process things wrong or incorrectly because that's no such thing when you're grieving. You process things the way they come to you and the way you know how at that moment. And it may not be the best way of serving you when you look back onto it, but at least you learned something from it, right? So I'm not gonna hold you. I'm so thankful for you guys that came on and snuck in a quick peek and went on about your day. I pray that you had the best Sunday ever and you have continue to have the best Sunday evening ever. I will be back on here tomorrow morning for Monday Motivation. That is done on these 3 channels as well. YouTube. If you are not on my YouTube channel, please go and subscribe. It's Legacy of Love Coaching by LaShawn. My private women's only Facebook group, Being the Best Version of Yourself. And then, of course, my business page, Legacy of Love Coaching by LaShawn. So I love you guys. I pray and hope that you're able to continue your grieving journey in a way that serves you. I pray that things that I've read to you or spoken to you, it does find a place in your heart and is helpful. I would love to hear from you. If there's anything that you need to discuss privately, like I said, go to my website. Let's get on the phone and have a conversation, or hit me up in my DM. Facebook Messenger is probably the best place to hit me up at. And just know that I will always be here praying for you guys, okay? I will always be here keeping you in my heart of hearts because we need that. We need to know that someone is out there praying for us, right? So you guys have the most amazing evening ever. I love you with all my heart. And until tomorrow, love and blessings. God bless.